Hi, I'm here in Minsk, Belarus, and of course the primary language here is Russian, and most people here only speak Russian fluently. There's a bit of English, a bit of Belarusian, but it's primarily Russian, as you can see by this sign, Domino's Pizza. So what I want to do today is just teach you a few words that are useful. A few words that are useful, Domino's, in your day-to-day life here in Belarus. So the first word that you really want to know, let's go down this way. First word you want to know is можно. Можно. This can be used in so many ways. Fuck, it's a good word. So it basically means can, or can have, can do. Can have is probably the best translation, but it's the way it's used that's more interesting. So if you want something, for example, in a shop, можно cappuccino, right? So it's можно. And they can answer, and you can answer if you're asked something like that with можно. So you might say можно blah blah blah, and they can respond можно. Can have this, can have. So this is very common, very normal. I just heard a guy, obviously a foreigner, say можно пожалуйста as he was ordering his coffee. So obviously can have please. Sounds a bit formal, but it's okay. So можно is really useful. Another way it's useful is if you want to get by somebody. Yeah. So you wouldn't say извини or извините, right? This is used when you're kind of embarrassed or you've said something that's inappropriate or done something and it's done to kind of apologize. So that's excuse me in that sense. If it was like excuse me, like can I get through, it would also be можно, can have. So if you're on the metro, you want to get off, shit, my stop's here, I can't get through, можно, and people will move for you. Yeah, people will move for you. So можно is really, really useful. Another useful one is hello in the formal. Don't learn привет. Привет is not useful unless you know somebody pretty well already. So you want to say здравствуйте. And this is hello, and it's not used in the same way that we would use it, in the West or with English. It's not used the same way. It's used as a formal just acknowledgement and greeting, So you would say it, to anybody really, здравствуйте, and they will just say it back, здравствуйте. That's it. That's all you need. You'll also need goodbye. Again, it's kind of in the formal. And it would be до свидания, which you probably know that one. До свидания. But if you're friends with someone, you can say пока or пока-пока. But до свидания is what you say whenever you're leaving somebody's company. До свидания. And these things, people mirror each other. So if someone says до свидания, you say it. You don't say пока or пока-пока. Or even if someone says добрый день, you can say добрый день, good day, добрый день. Don't change it. Just mirror what they say. So these are all very useful day to day. Another one that's really useful is всё. Obviously, I said it slowly. You can say всё. So всё. And that means that's all. We're done. That's it. So if you're ordering something and then that's all, можно пожалуйста, одна cappuccino. Всё. Это всё. Да, это всё. So you'll say that's all. That's it. We're done. Blah blah blah. Any situation where you're not sure, are we still going here? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Say всё. Just inflect it up. Inflections are useful. Всё. Да, всё, конечно. До свидания. This is really useful too. Another one you'll get is с тобой, which is the takeaway. С тобой, and you'll often have that with an option. So for example, I'm just thinking of common things you'll use, right? So for example, like coffee shop, Russian. They'll probably ask you, is that all? You'll say, yes, that's all. In other words, всё. And then likely to say с тобой, so with, тобой is тебе, but change for that падеже, so with you, or practically used as takeaway. С тобой. С тобой, на месте, in place. На is kind of in or on. And месте is a semester, obviously place. Or is здесь. So just here, здесь. So it could be с тобой Namesti. That's the question for you. And you'll say, Namesti. Or it'll be, Staboy, Zdes. Zdes. And you say here, or in place here. So these are very useful as well. And often what you'll get in that sequence, it's quite predictable. What you'll often get in that sequence is nalichna, cash, nalichna, or nakarta, just card, cash or card. Nalichna nakarta. Nakarta, пожалуйста, у меня есть иностранец. Карта, это работает здесь? And I will say, yes. So if you're unsure where you are, if they're going to take a foreign card, for example, and it's a bit quieter place and you don't kind of know, you can say, это иностранец. Well, that's actually иностранец is foreign person. You say иностранная карта and карту, and they will be like, это работает, это хорошо, все хорошо. They'll often give you a different terminal, depends. They've often got one terminal for general use, and then they might have an extra one as a backup for foreign cards. What else would be useful? If you want someone's attention, or you want to apologise for something you've said or done, you can say izviniti. So you've done something bad and you want to apologise. It's really useful. Izviniti, which is the command. So obviously, polite version or izvini. But if you're apologising, you're probably going to want to make it the polite version, right? The formal polite version. So izviniti as opposed to izvini. Just add that T at the end. If you've started doing a bit of Russian study, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just mirror exactly what I'm saying. I reckon that's pretty good, to be honest. That's pretty good. In terms of useful stuff, I mean, I can teach you some just basic conversational stuff, but I mean, how often do you need to say, my name is, or I am from, or this kind of really introductory stuff that you'll learn when you're learning a language? I mean, you're not really going to use it. Although I guess I'll give you a bit of a hint. If someone does ask you otkuda, although they probably won't, it's unlikely to. People here won't just talk to you, very rarely, and if they do, watch out. Like anywhere, watch out gender. But if you do get that kind of otkuda, or otkuda v, or otkuda t, probably otkuda v. Ot is just from, yeah? Ot, from where? Kuda is like where, but not, kuda is like on the way to, if you know what I mean. So gadia, which you probably know, is just where in position. Kuda is where, like going to, it's in like motion. So it's ot kuda. Then you would just say ya, which is I, is, which is from, is, and then just say your country. I think if you say it in English, it's okay actually. But you also need to conjugate, not conjugate, you also need to adjust the ending of it, but it doesn't matter too much. Like Australia, Australia, but you adjust the ending. Pretty simple adjustment to Australia. Yeah, is Australia. That's probably enough, to be honest. It's no point in standing here for 2 minutes. Let's wander down this way. We can walk underneath the thing. That's enough for now. That's quite a bit, really. I'm not sure how useful this is. Different guys I meet here at various levels, from absolutely nothing, just some pretty good street smart, pretty high level grammatical knowledge. So anyway, that's pretty useful if you're coming and you're a bit scared, because look, let's be honest, there's not a lot of English here. Like, you're not going to run into a lot of it. Just the probability of someone being even just kind of that B2 level, it's pretty low. When I say pretty low, I mean very low. Although sometimes, you do get someone in a shop who can speak a little bit, and it depends how your pronunciation is, because it's a bit tricky, because a lot of people, when they're pronouncing things, they just pronounce it poorly. So, for example, I was having a coffee the other day with Ed from Alionic Adventures, is it? G'day Ed, if you're watching. Nice fella, American fella with no hair. He's a good guy. And he was trying to say that he wanted water with gas, right? So varasagasim. But he was kind of saying it with an accent and with the emphasis in the wrong part. And he said it about 4 times to the waiter. And the waiter's just like, no fucking idea. What is this guy asking me? He's being very polite, the waiter, he's being very patient, but he's just fucking, then he's trying to say it really slowly. And he's just not picking it. And I just said it quickly because this is something I can, familiar with and whatever. But poor Ed was kind of struggling, 3 or 4 attempts at it and getting nowhere. So that accent and just not letting the word roll. You got to let the word roll and know what to emphasize. Otherwise, you can find yourself people not understanding a freaking word you're saying, really, and you'll get so disappointed. So you really want to listen to where people emphasize the word. There is a stress in Russian, which you probably know. That's super important, man. And understanding just the concepts of, O sounding like A when it's not stressed and all this kind of crap. You really want to know that stuff because just that slightest little sound, unless it's a super context, it's impossible to know. So for example, even then, we're in a fucking restaurant, mate. We're in a cafe. We're ordering water. We're ordering coffees. Then he orders, varasagasim. And even with that context, it was still just unclear, right? So, you want to listen to people when they're speaking and really try to mimic it the best you can. That way there's a better chance that they'll understand you. Otherwise they might just not understand you, even with the simplest of words, because you're not used to getting feedback on your pronunciation. Anyway, that's enough from me. It's been a pleasure, peoples. Hope this has been useful. If it has, let me know. As they say in по-русски, до свидания.